A young woman's life shatters the moment her family delivers an ultimatum she never imagined facing. Her sister's millionaire fiancé lies motionless in a hospital bed, trapped in a coma after a tragic accident. Doctors speak in uncertain tones, hope hanging by a fragile thread. Instead of offering comfort or compassion, her family sees only fear of losing status, wealth, and the powerful alliance the marriage promised. To protect their reputation and secure the fortune tied to the engagement, they make a heartless decision. She will replace her sister as the bride. Her protests mean nothing. Her dreams, her plans, even her right to choose are dismissed as insignificant. Under emotional pressure, guilt, and threats of abandonment, she is forced to accept a marriage that feels more like a punishment than a union. The wedding takes place without celebration, without joy, only whispered prayers and cold stares. The groom cannot stand beside her, cannot speak vows, cannot even open his eyes. She becomes a wife to a man who doesn't know her name, bound by legal papers and expectations rather than love. From that moment, her life is no longer her own. She is labeled a caretaker, a substitute, a sacrifice for the family's ambition. Alone in a grand yet lifeless house, she struggles with loneliness, fear, and the crushing weight of responsibility. Every day, she sits beside a man who cannot respond, wondering how fate could be so cruel. Yet deep inside, amid the injustice and pain, a quiet strength begins to form, one that will soon challenge the very people who forced her into this silent marriage. Astor's days turn into weeks, and weeks blur into months as she settles into a life she never chose. Each morning, she enters the quiet hospital room, or later, the carefully prepared bedroom where the man in a coma lies surrounded by machines and silence. At first, she speaks only out of duty, repeating the doctor's instructions, reading reports aloud, or murmuring polite words meant for no one in particular. But silence has a way of pulling truths from the heart. Slowly, her guarded voice softens. She begins to talk to him as if he can hear every word. She tells him about her childhood, about dreams she once had before they were taken from her. She confesses her anger toward the family that forced her into this marriage, and the fear that grips her every night when she feels completely alone. There are moments when tears fall onto the sheets beside him, and moments when she laughs quietly at memories she never thought she would share with anyone. In that stillness, she finds an unexpected listener. As she cares for him, adjusting his pillow, holding his hand, ensuring he is treated gently, her resentment slowly transforms into compassion. She stops seeing him as a burden or a symbol of her sacrifice, and begins to see him as another victim of fate. Unaware to her, her voice becomes an anchor, her presence a comfort. Somewhere beneath the coma, something stirs. The nurses notice small changes, a steadier heartbeat when she speaks, a slight movement of his fingers when she holds his hand. She dismisses it as coincidence, never imagining that her kindness is reaching him in ways science cannot explain. In that silent space between life and awareness, an unseen bond is forming, one built not on obligation, wealth, or control, but on honesty, care, and the quiet power of human connection. Astor's just as exhaustion and despair begin to feel permanent, fate intervenes in a way no one expects. One quiet morning, when the room feels heavier than usual, she is speaking to him softly, telling him she is tired of being strong, tired of living a life decided by others. Her hand rests in his, and suddenly, she feels it tighten. At first, she freezes, afraid to believe it. Then his fingers move again, this time with purpose. The impossible begins to happen. Doctors rush in. Machines beat faster. News spreads through the hospital like wildfire. The millionaire heir is waking up. For the family who orchestrated the forced marriage, shock replaces confidence. Their carefully built lies and manipulations now stand on fragile ground. When he finally opens his eyes, the first voice he recognizes is hers, though he cannot yet speak clearly. His gaze follows her, filled with confusion and familiarity. Later, it is revealed that he heard more than anyone imagined. Trapped in darkness, her voice was his only light. As his recovery progresses, hidden truths surface. He learns how she was forced into the marriage, how she gave up her freedom to care for him, and how the family used her as a shield to protect their wealth. Confronted with the truth, he is furious not at her, but at those who betrayed both of them. The power dynamic shifts completely. The family that once controlled everything now faces consequences they never anticipated. In a final, defining moment, he makes a choice of his own. He publicly acknowledges her sacrifice, protects her from further manipulation, and stands by her side not out of obligation, but gratitude and love. What began as a marriage without consent transforms into a bond chosen freely, proving that, even in the darkest circumstances, Fate can rewrite destinies and redefine what love and loyalty truly mean.